Welcome to part two, or you could call this episode six. In part one, we went over the LSL invitational and stuff like that. If you want to go check that out, you can. If you've already checked that out, you're cool. You're awesome. Good. Thank you. I appreciate you very much. In this part, we're going to talk about the worlds. We'll do an in-depth preview. I've watched multiple VODs of Turf War because I kid you not, every single qualifier had turf war at some point, which honestly makes me want to tear my hair out a little bit. But yeah, I've watched every. I'm fluent in Chinese, Japanese, and Taiwan. Is it Taiwanese? I don't think that's a language, but okay, ignore me. Ignore what I just said a couple seconds ago. But I'm very fluent in the Asian languages or the Asian culture of languages. When it comes to, yeah, I'm very fluent in that now. Um, I should just stop talking. Anyway, so we're gonna go through how they got there, how they got here, how they got to Worlds. We'll go over the scheduling. We'll go over that when Worlds to start, where you can watch it, all that other stuff. When it's gonna be live, where you can watch it, and you know what, man? I'm gonna also do some bracket predictions. You know what, man? I wasn't gonna do that. I forgot. I totally forgot about it, by the way. But I'm gonna do some bracket predictions. I'm absolutely going to do some bracket predictions. I have to sneeze, so give me a second. Alright. I'm currently dying. I did some soccer without my inhaler and I cannot breathe. If you make fun of me, fuck you. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say, bro. If you make fun of me for whatever reason, fuck you. Anyway, yeah. So, yeah, we're just gonna go over through a deep dive, and then afterwards, we're gonna do predictions because why not? I'm the king of predictions. Or I used to be. I don't do them as much anymore, and when I'm correct, I don't say anything, and then it looks like I'm like being like, "See, I told you so," when I never did tell you so. So this time, I'm gonna be like, "I told you so," and it's actually gonna be true, you know. If you heard me drinking water, and I'm sorry, but I'm thirsty at the same time. Alright, so first thing we're gonna do. Okay, first, before I get into this, Jackpot is on the other side of the world. If you don't know what happened, people are trying to cancel them because they ate at Starbucks, and like apparently something's going on with Starbucks and McDonald's that they're sending support to Israel. Okay, quite honestly, I think you people need to get off Twitter. I'm just gonna be honest with you. These guys are all across, all are in a different country. And to be quite honest with you, even if you said stop, even if you tell your 20 Twitter followers to stop eating at Starbucks or McDonald's, I guarantee you one of them probably went and got a Big Mac or a mochaccino latte at some point today. So who the fuck cares? Are we gonna cancel everyone that like instead of complaining about it on Twitter, how about you do something productive like I don't know, like donate money to a charity or sorry, my nose is, I don't know what's going on. I think I have allergy. I think my allergies are acting up even though I took my medicine today. um Maybe donate to a charity. maybe donate to a charity, maybe educate people in a civil manner. Civil. Notice I had said how I said civil, not throw pitchforks at them and be insufferable. Like like can we can we please can we please be more civil when it comes to stuff like that? You can be passionate, but you don't have to be a fucking idiot. Like maybe that's harsh, but like holy fuck, I like at this point I don't care. You know what I'm saying? At this point I just don't care. So I don't care. Like nobody cares if you go on Twitter and you're trying to Twitter police people. I feel like we're just Twitter policing people at this point. Get off Twitter, go outside, touch some grass. I guarantee you it's gonna make you feel so much better. There are some days when I'm very depressed. I just go out on my front porch and I just sit there and I just let the wind and the breeze go by and I just sit there and I just stare out into the open field. Well, not open field, but I just stare out into my yard or something. Like I sound like I'm old, bro. I'm not old, I promise. But like we can is this Taiwan? Are they Taiwan? Yeah, I think they're Taiwan. Yeah, I think they're Taiwan. I don't know what's the abbreviation for Taiwan. Hey Siri, what's the abbreviation for Taiwan? Oh, TW. Okay. It just felt wrong. Thank you. Yes, I just did Hey Siri in the middle of the podcast. I'm not sorry for that, by the way. Okay. So we're gonna go through each qualifier. I've watched every single qualifier. The match between Taiwan and Hong Kong happened at the stream was at 4 a.m. on the Hong Kong Nintendo of Hong Kong's YouTube channel, but they also had Mario Kart for some reason. I don't know why we're trying to give competitive Mario Kart a platform. I believe I feel like that's the most boring. I feel like that's the most boring shit ever. But to each their own. I'm not gonna judge you if you play competitive Mario Kart, but yeah, I don't see how. Um, I'd rather play competitive Foam Stars if I'm being honest with you. But my bad. I had to say all that. But yeah. Uh they had Mario Kart and I was like, I'm gonna stay up and I'm gonna watch this. And you know what I did? You know what I did? I didn't stay up and watch it. You know damn well I wasn't gonna stay up and watch that. Come on, guys. I may not go to sleep, but I wasn't gonna be up at 5 a.m. trying to stay awake to watch Splatoon, and I'm glad I didn't because they took a very long time to get to the Splatoon section. They did Mario Kart one-on-ones. It felt like like this. I know this is not a Mario Kart podcast, but like let me just explain to you how this worked. They had two Mario Kart setups, right? That's my watch. Ignore that. They had two Mario Kart setups. Hold on. That is telling me it's time to get into bed because I'm recording this at 12 a.m. But they had two setups with like Mario Kart, right? They had one seat with a switch on this side and they had one seat with a switch on the other side. So one to the left, one to the right. And both competitors would go into the room and it looked like they were competing against computers or something, but it was always two people that always would come up to the stand for some reason, and they would go into the bracket, and it just did not make any sense. I'm just like what am I watching? But I did not stay up for that. I was like, okay, maybe if I go to sleep, I was like, okay, maybe if I set my alarm, because I woke up because my alarm went off, and I was like, okay, maybe if I set my alarm, or I think I just naturally woke up. I think I just naturally woke up, and I was like, okay, if I set my alarm to 5:30 a.m. my time, uh, maybe they'll be done with Mario Kart. And guess what? I woke up, they weren't done with Mario Kart. And I was like, all right, F this. I'm going back to sleep. I'll just save this to my watch later. I'll just like the video so I can go back to it and watch it when it's done and skim through it. And that's what I did. Sorry. Jesus Christ. But yeah, that's what I did. So, newsflash for you. I won't tell you who won yet, but yeah. Um, but it wasn't very eventful at all. So let me remind you how Jackpot got here. If you don't know, if you've been living under a rock and you're listening to this, um, Jackpot qualified through the North American, the Splatoon North American Open. Uh, North America. So it's USA, Canada, and Mexico. They don't give a they don't give a fuck about all the other countries below us. Nintendo. So yeah, that's all who's allowed, right? And there are some idiots who break the rules, and when they go far in the tournament, they know damn well they can't play or compete because it's like not all of you are from North America, you dumbass. Sorry. I just had to get. I just feel like that makes no sense to me. I feel like there's been a couple times where a team has played with someone that's obviously not from North America, and it's just like, what are you doing? You're just clearly breaking the rules for no reason. Um, but anyway, you're just competing for fun at that point. Like people complain about competing for no money, but then they go into a tournament where they could possibly do something like go to PAX, and they play with an illegal player. Like, are you fucking stupid? Like, I'm tired of seeing this all the time. Sorry, I just had to get that off my chest. But yeah, Jackpot qualified through that. There's two different qualifiers. You got they've been doing it differently. I'm not gonna run through it, but day one is a best of one ladder online event. It's an online event. Best of one ladder turf, not best of one, my bad. Best of three turf war for day one, the ladder, and then the next one is a bracket. It's a single elimination bracket until the top four, and then the top four are put into a double elimination bracket. This is ranked modes only, by the way, on random maps. This is ranked modes only on random maps that Nintendo just choose and bombs out at us, and we have to practice it for some reason. So yeah, they qualify through that, and then the winner out of winners bracket, because they don't do the grand finals match. The winner out of winners bracket does automatically qualify for PAX, and then the winner out of losers bracket, so the winner of losers finals, goes in as the next team to qualify for PAX East. I think it's PAX East because usually sometimes it's PAX West, sometimes it's PAX East. I think it's PAX East. Was it PAX West this time, or was it PAX East? Okay, they called it Nintendo Live this time. Okay, they just called it Nintendo Live. I'm just gonna call it that. Too many PAXs, alright? So I'm gonna just call it Nintendo Live. So they qualified to that, and the teams that they had to play against. So they qualified for the Nintendo Live event for North America, and the teams they had to play against were Crush Soda, Tempest, because I refuse to call them Duck Motif first. But yeah, Tempest, but they went as the stupid Duck Motif name. And Crush Soda. I said Crush Soda. No, Crush Soda, Tempest, also known as Duck Motif, and Starburst. So the big matchup going for that one was supposed to be Starburst versus Jackpot, but Crush Soda knocked out not Jackpot. Crush Soda knocked out Starburst, and then Starburst went on Twitter saying they got blue balled from scrims. Duck Motif was just no competition for Jackpot, obviously. There was a best of one turf war played behind the scenes, which is honestly, this is you guys are gonna laugh when I tell you how the other qualifiers were. What the best of one turf war was played behind the stage, so this was off stage, off stream. Best of one turf war was played, so the seeding out of that best of one turf war had Jackpot going up against Tempest or Duck Motif, and then Starburst going up against Crush Soda for the semifinals. So it's a best of five, single elimination bracket semifinals. Crush Soda knocks out Starburst. Jackpot takes care of Tempest or Duck Motif. They get to the final, and then from there it was basically just Jackpot stomping on Crush Soda. Even though Crush Soda got a big upset over Starburst, Jackpot was clearly a different animal for them. And then they also had beaten a Starburst that didn't really have their full roster. They had Kyo, who didn't really play with them much at all, to be honest. But Kill is nothing to scoff at. That is a seven-time NA champ. So they qualified through that, and Jackpot qualified for Worlds. Since then, they've been doing other tournaments and stuff to help prepare them, and they have not found a decent scrim in the past 2 months. So maybe a little bit worrisome, maybe not. For Kaiser, I don't know how their online qualifiers work, but I think there are qualifiers for each country. So there's qualifier for France, Germany. I believe Kaiser is German. I believe Kaiser is German. Yeah, Kaiser is German. I see it. They're German. They have a qualifier for France, Germany, Spain, the Dutch countries. Is it the Dutch? I don't think it's Dutch countries. I'm blanking because I want to say Switzerland, but I think no. I think they combined Finland and they combined Finland's qualifiers with another qualifier. I think, but I think Switzerland has their own qualifier. So basically, uh, Kaiser had to play through the German. Had to play through the Splatoon 3 German championships, was basically is a LAN, so they had to play at two LANs, so they had to play that LAN. I don't know how they qualified before that, but they had to play at that LAN, and then they had to go to and I believe there was one for UK. Yeah, UK was in there. There were like 12 teams for the European Championship, and so Kaiser ended up qualifying the European Championships. The European Championships was about 12 teams. It was group stage. They had Turf War included in there, except the Turf War, in order for it to count as a game, you had to do a best of three of turf. So you had to win two turf war games in order for it to count to your set score. Kaiser ended up topping their group, going into the top four, where they had to play the likes of Alliance Rogue, the winner of the French qualifiers. So they play Alliance Rogue in the qualifier in the semifinals, and they end up beating Alliance Rogue. And then I forgot who they beat in finals, but they beat someone in finals who obviously could not contest with them. AR was their biggest competition in that tournament, and they knocked them out early in the semifinal round. So that is how Kaiser got there. I need a second. Be right back. Alright, I'm back. I've cleared my sinuses, hopefully, for the time being. I probably should have just brought tissue in here. Alright, the next team we're going to talk about is the Greasy Goblins. So I had to watch their qualifier because I didn't know how exactly how it works. So the way they qualified for the LAN event, because there's pre-qualifiers, and then there's the qualifier for the Worlds. There's the pre-qualifier to qualify for the LAN event, and then the LAN event is the qualifier to get you to Worlds, basically. So the Greasy Goblins did the Australian New Zealand qualifier. The first part of the qualifier was basically a single elimination bracket all the way through. So there were two qualifiers because only two teams went to the LAN event, basically, which is kind of whack. But yeah. So they did a SE bracket. they have an SC bracket, and they have to win that all the way through, and then they qualify, and then the next team from the second qualifier. I don't know if it's online. I think it might be online. It might be online. Yeah, the second team that qualifies ends up going to that same LAN event as the Greasy Goblins. It ended up being Solstice. The Greasy Goblins play Solstice and on stage for that LAN event in a best of 5. Um, I don't know why it wasn't best of 7 since it was only 2 teams, but they did a best of 5. Game 1 was a best of 3 turf war. Then ranked modes followed. And then ranked modes followed. So the Greasy Golems ended up beating Solstice in a game 5. They ended up losing the turf war. And one kind of interesting thing to note about the Greasy Goblins, I know the roster is completely different. They won't have Link. Instead, they have a different player, but they won't have Link. One thing to note about the Greasy Goblins, during that qualifier, they had double crab, and I'm pretty sure crab meta was gone. They had double crab during the turf war games, which I'm not sure what they were thinking. They had reflux, obviously, and then they had double crab, and I forgot what else they had. I think they might have had a stamper or something. I forgot what or weapon they had. It's turf war. I don't I don't know, bro. But I don't know if the double crab is used to kind of just stop the enemy team from just going out into the open and um, painting the floor, because the whole objective of turf war is to paint the floor. But I'm not sure if you can paint the floor with crab. But I guess it stops the enemy team from painting the floor. So that was kind of interesting. They lost both of those games. It seemed like they had a difficulty. They lost the best of 3 turf war. It seemed like they had a difficulty of closing out the games towards the end, which is very important. Turf war, you need to be able to hold on to the last 30 seconds, which kind of worries me. A bit about them. They may have practiced a little bit more recently. I don't even think they practice at all, if I'm being honest. I think I'm lying to myself when I say I think they probably practice a little bit more. No, to be honest, I don't think they practice at all. So yeah, I'm kind of worried about that in terms of like the turf war state. That is a little bit worrisome, considering turf war is going to be throughout the entire event. You know, day 1 is all turf war, and then day 2 includes turf war. Some of the last deciding games for each set is turf war, so that's pretty concerning. So yeah, that's how the Greasy Goblins qualified for the Korea Korea representative, Unadon. They qualified through I kid you not, a single elimination bracket best of 1 turf war. It was a top 8. I'm not sure if there were any pre-qualifiers to this. I don't know if there were online qualifiers or what, but basically they had the Nintendo Live event. They started it off with a single elimination best of 1 turf war top 8. Then the top 4 would be best of 3 turf war, and then the final was a best of 5 turf war. I don't know who they beat because I can't read Korean. I wish I could. That would be pretty cool if I was like bilingual or trilingual or quadlingual. I don't even think that's a word, but yeah, that would be pretty cool if I could read all those languages, but I can't. But yeah. But yeah, that's how they qualified. But that's how they qualify. And I think it might have been Hong Kong, it might have been Korea. I think it's Hong Kong. I'm pretty sure it's, well, not Hong Kong. I'm pretty sure it's Taiwan. They do this thing, and they did this for coach. Actually, I'll talk about coaching now. Okay, so the next team we're gonna talk about. When I literally tell you it was a best of 1 turf war, it was literally a best of 1. I was trying to find the game 2 or game 3 for the top 8 games. It was literally just a best of 1 turf war, and I kid you not, I just thought to myself, I was like, I would be hot if I was a competitive player. I would be pissed if I was a competitive player and I went into this qualifier for Worlds and I lost on 0.1% because little Timmy inked every nook and cranny of his base and couldn't get a kill for the past 3 minutes. I would have been so upset. I'm pretty sure Unadon is the Unadon is the team with the Dynamo. Their splash player Puyo is pretty good. They have the tent, and they also have a Dapple player. So this team runs no cooler. Yeah, you heard me right. This team runs no cooler, so that's gonna be interesting for them. I don't know if they evolved. I mean, I think their qualifier happened a while ago, but I'm not sure if they've evolved and actually added a cooler. But yeah, that's gonna be interesting for them. Um, for Japan, we know how they qualified. At least I think you guys know. Um, Phantom Thief. So they qualified through the Koshin event. Koshin is a big. Koshin is basically a kind of like a Splatoon baseball themed tournament, basically, that they always have. It's very big. It's very popular. There are multiple regional qualifiers before the big one, before the big Koshin one. There's like, I'm pretty sure there's like 5 or 6 regional, or maybe even 7. I could be wrong. Someone who's more versant, who probably stays up to watch this stuff, would probably know more. Um, but yeah, so yeah, they qualified. They qualified through the big Koshin finale tournament, where they beat the likes of Tier Rain, which is Noricio's team. They beat them in a best of 3 turf war. It's all turf war. There are no rank modes at any point. They do this thing where they do rock paper scissors, and like, it's kind of like counter picks, except it's randomized. It's like whoever wins the rock paper scissors gets to choose a random card that the judges or the referees, I don't know what they're, or the Nintendo like supervisors are holding, and like they get to choose a random card, and then they won't be able to see it, and then eventually they turn it up and they show it, and it's like, oh, we're seeing this and that. We're seeing Turf War on Illtail Alley for the 5th time today. Yay! So it's not really a counter pick, if I'm being honest with you. It's kind of like a counter pick, but it's not really a counter pick. So if you win the rock, paper, scissors, it doesn't really matter. Unless you learn the pattern. Or you like go light Yagami or L or something. But yeah. Their comp, Reflux, Snipe Rider, Heavy Edit, and then Machine, Tri-Slosher, and then Stamper Nouveau, and Dualies. Apparently I talked way too fast because now I got hiccups. Great. Okay. Alright. We would talk about Hong Kong, but Hong Kong lost to Taiwan. So, the Smart Roast Chicken. My god, can we stop with the hiccups? Please. Oh, man. Smart Roast Chickens ended up beating the Hong Kong representative, GDEX, in quite dominant fashion. And when I mean dominant fashion, I'm not exaggerating. Like, it was quite literally in dominant fashion. Like, they played game 1, which was a turf war, and it was not close. And then game 2 was Splat Zones on Inkblot Art Academy. The map mode combination that Chara says is bad, but I think she's insane when he says museum is good, but it's basically the same thing. Don't show them this video. Same thing with Ship Shape too, by the way. They're literally the same thing. Anyway, don't show him this video. But the Smart Roast Chicken is just absolutely dominated from top to bottom. How they got to that point though, so Hong Kong, their qualifiers were a top 8 best of 1 turf war, semis was best of 3 turf plus ranked modes, and then finals was turf plus rank. It was still best of 3. Their comp changed. The things that are listed on the website are probably not true, so I wrote this down. Their comp for turf was like Flux, BP, Zap, and Roller, and then for Rainmaker they did pretty. It looked like they did pretty well. Okay, I really did that again. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Um, no, that's Hong Kong. Sorry. Okay, sorry. Disregard everything I just said. Taiwan qualifiers were a top 8 best of 1 turf. So it was at the land. So the top 8 was the land. And then top 4 was best of 3 turf war. Then rank modes follow, and then best of 3 for finals as well. Same format. Okay, so basically what I had just read before is ignore the whole comp stuff. Yeah, so Smart Roast Chicken, I think at one point they had an E-liter, so they qualified through, and they also had a Nova, which is honestly pretty insane to me. Um, they went kind of uncontested throughout the entire qualifier. I kind of skipped through to finals and see how they performed. Um, they seem pretty comfortable on turf war. One thing I will say is that the Korea and Taiwan representative seemed very comfortable on turf war, which is kind of interesting. I don't want to say worrisome, but it's kind of interesting for the Western and the also Australia representatives. Japan is just Japan. Japan is Japan. We just know they're really good at turf war, but yeah. Um, all right, so that is how each team qualified and stuff. But yeah, Smart Roast Chickens ended up playing GDEX Thursday, April the 11th, because they had because their qualifiers kind of collide with each other. So the qualifier between these two, I kid you not, was it was a best of 3. I already mentioned it was a best of 3. It was Turf War, Scorch Gorge, and then the second game was Splat Zones on Inkblot Art Academy. And it just looked like GDEX was just not comfortable with ranked modes. They had a pencil at one point and a V shot. GDEX, but it just seemed like they weren't comfortable with rank modes, or they just seemed to be outclassed and outskilled when it came to the Smart Roast Chickens. So I don't know if that's any indicator, because it's not Jackpot, it's not Kaiser, it's not the Greasy Goblins that they're facing. It's literally another team that had to play nothing but turf war. Um, up until that point, and these are also in like Jackpot. At least for Jackpot, one advantage I think they have over every other team here is the fact that they have been a team for quite some time. You know, they've been a team for a couple of they've been a team for a long time, you know. So like they consistently don't not only just they don't just only play the NA qualifiers, they play, you know, other tournaments within the competitive scene or the Western competitive scene. I'm not so sure about Phantom Thief and the rest of these teams. Greasy Goblins, I'm just gonna put them in there too. I'm not so convinced about that. And it looks like Kaiser. Some of these guys, I do know that most of these guys do play, um, you know, pickups every now and again, but I'm not quite sure. I know Zeris was on FT Win at one point, but it just seems like Kaiser is kind of just put together just for this, and I don't know if they're gonna stick around after Worlds is finished, but if they do, that would be quite interesting, especially if they come in here and possibly win it. So, all right, we're gonna go to the um, we're gonna go to the predictions. Sorry if I'm sorry, I'm stifling in your guys' ear. But yeah, what the heck? Sorry, I was like, what the heck is that? Let me close some of these tabs actually. Yeah, let me close that tab. Let me close that tab. Alright, now it is time for the predictions, guys. It is time for the predictions. So let me refresh your guys' memory. Okay, wait. First off, before I do that, the way you can watch is Nintendo of JP Um, they said they have streaming broadcast schedule. I'm not sure Nintendo. Hopefully, Nintendo of NA streams it at the same time. Hopefully, if Jordan Kent and Ashley, if Jordan Kent, Ashley, and someone, I forgot who's the other guy. If they're not actually in Japan commentating this live, I'm gonna be pissed off because there's no reason why they shouldn't have gotten Nine Whole Grains or K-Bot or or uh Falco or even Vic or even hell, I don't know. Who else usually commentates for them? I know Vic. Is it Milana? Not Vic. Milana. My bad. Sorry. Uh, there's no reason why they shouldn't have gotten one of those three in on this broadcast. Because I'm not trying to hear Ashley, whatever her last name is, talk about how inking the floor wins you the game in turf war. Like, talk about something else. My bad. My bad. I promise I don't hate women. I promise, bro. I promise, bro. Um, um, but yeah, just to remind you guys, this is so the broadcasting info, you can find it on the website. I linked it in the episode before this one, so not part one, but the previous episode before this. I linked all that stuff down below. I'll probably link it again, but you can find that info. It starts at 2 a.m. EST, 12 a.m. Central Standard Time, and if you're on the West Coast, this is the perfect time to be on the West Coast because it starts at 10 p.m. for you. So at the moment, West Coast is kind of winning. So day one is at, and then day two is the same. It's at 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then 12 a.m. Central Standard Time, and then for PST is kind of winning in this situation because usually it would be early in the morning and they would have to wake up at 4 a.m. It's like now we have now the West Coast, now the East Coast and Central Standard Time have to stay up late at night, while West Coast is kind of like, unless you're old, it's just like, I have something to watch at 10 p.m. now, 10 p.m. tonight. So yeah, I don't think the stream will have Mario Kart in it. I think it will just be, hopefully it is just Splatoon and not Mario Kart. Because if it's Mario Kart, I'm going to bed. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I'm going to bed and I'll watch it in the morning. You're watching this on the Friday, guys. It'll probably be 12 a.m. It'll probably be that basically, if you're watching this on a Friday, it's basically today. That's day one is starting basically today. Or later in the night, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So pretty soon. It'll start pretty soon. But yeah, time for the predictions, man. Group A, to remind you all, Group A consists of Jackpot, Greasy Goblins, and Unadon. So North America, Australia, and Korea. And then Group B consists of Phantom Thief, Kaiser, and Smart Roast Chickens. So JP, Europe, and Taiwan. Alright, so let's start these predictions. Maybe I should share my screen. I probably will do that. Oh man. I was gonna play Genshin today. I'm going to bed after this. I had a long day. I've had a long week, actually. Somewhat. Okay. So, ignore this. I don't think this is the order that they'll play each other. If it is, I'm a god. I'm the best. But yeah. So, day one is all Turf War. So, if you don't want to stay up at 2 a.m. if you're on the East Coast watching Turf War the entire time, it's not best of one. so that's a win. It's best of 3 actually. Everyone advances to day 2, so we'll see everyone on day 2 anyway. If you don't watch day 1, I will probably be doing a watch party, twitch.tv slash prize underscore sky 99. If I'm not doing a watch party, it's because I was streaming earlier and nobody was watching. That's so yeah. I probably streamed 4 or 5 minutes before you got there, and no one was there, and I just dipped. So that's usually what happens. So I'll probably do a day 2 watch party. I'm not so sure about day 1. We'll see. But yeah. So all right. So Greasy Goblins versus Unadon. I'm gonna go with the first upset of the day. I'm gonna say Unadon beats the Greasy Goblins. I'm gonna say Jackpot beats Greasy Goblins. And I'm gonna say Jackpot also beats Unadon because Jackpot actually really likes Turf War. To my knowledge, I know that they really like Turf War and they've been playing in a lot of Japanese Turf War tournaments online. I know that for a fact. So yeah, and I have not seen much from the Greasy Goblins, and Unadon doesn't look like they're Jackpot level. So, um, but I do think Unadon may be competent enough to beat um, Greasy Goblins. That's one thing I will say. Um, all right, so going into Group B, I think Kaiser beats the Smart Roast Chickens. I don't see Kaiser losing to the Smart Roast Chickens. I see uh, Phantom Thief beating Kaiser 2-0. I haven't seen much from Kaiser to believe that they would upset JP, and then I'm gonna say Phantom Thief beats Smart Roast Chickens 2-0 in this one. So yeah. So this is pretty easy. I only have one upset throughout the entire thing. I could have did something crazy and said Kaiser beats Japan, but that's not too crazy. I don't think that's too crazy, but I don't see. I think out of the 6 teams, I do think Taiwan is the weakest. Not because they're the last to qualify, but because from what I saw, I don't think they're. I think they're good. They're competent, but I think they're not up to the level of the top 3 teams in the event, which is Jackpot, Phantom Thief, and Kaiser. And then yeah. So this is how it works. So number 1 in Group A has a bye. Number 1 in Group B has a bye. Number 2 in Group A plays number 3 in Group. No, number 2 in Group B plays number 3 in Group A, and number 2 in Group B plays number in Group A plays number 3 in Group B. So we're gonna go through this. All right. So day 2 includes the rank modes. I probably should pull up the maps for reference. Actually, I don't really care. I think Kaiser beats Greasy Goblins 3-0. I think Kaiser beats Greasy Goblins 3-0. Unadon and Smart Roast Chickens, I think, is gonna be I think it's gonna be 3-2, but I give it to Unadon. Actually, no. I'm gonna give it to. All right, I don't think I care. I'm gonna give it to the Smart Roast Chickens. We haven't really seen I haven't seen Unadon play any type of rank mode at all. So that's one thing. I have seen Smart Roast Chickens, and it looks like they do kind of understand what to do, where to be. Lockout positioning. I believe it was their 52 that was like really good. I think they had. I'm pretty sure this was the team that had a 52. They had a 52 who pretty much knew what they were doing. They had a guy who had some pretty good crabs. I'm not gonna lie to you, like the crabs were kind of godlike, or well, not godlike, but they were pretty good. All right, so here's the big ones. I don't think this is I don't think this is to anyone's surprise. I think they win 3-0. 3-0, 3-1, I don't think it matters, but I think Phantom Thief wins. Jackpot and Kaiser, I think Jackpot wins 3-1. I think Jackpot wins 3-1 in that one. Wait. I feel like I need to see something first. I am sorry, guys. My allergies picked the wrong time. Why are we taking pictures with the enemy, Jared? Lock in, bro. I'm about to cancel you for that. Let me stop. Let me stop, bro. Man, that looked good. I don't know why I went to this guy's Twitter during this time of day. That looked really good. That food looked really good. I'm not gonna lie to you. Why low power mode for what? Okay, there's a tweet. Jared has a tweet with the map list somewhere. Where is it? Yeah, okay, there's his bad Splatoon 2 take. Splatoon 2 is better than Splatoon 3. Nope, no, it is not. You're crazy. Anyway, I think somebody dropped this guy. I think somebody hit this guy on top of the head a little bit too hard. Wait, I think 9 is going to Japan. Oh, so it's gonna be 9, Jordan, and Ashley. Okay, 9 makes it a little bit. 9 definitely makes that like 10 times better. Nine actually makes this 10 times better now. Cool. Bro, I see everything. I see every tweet from Jared but the map list, bro. Because this is important. Because finals is a best of 7. But I also don't see EU beating NA. Unless they win the turf war. Unless they announce the turf war of unless they announce turf war, unless they win the turf war. Can I get the map list, guys? No, I don't want that. I don't want the rule set. I want the map list, guys. Okay, for some reason I cannot find the map list. I can find every single tweet from Jared except for the fucking map list. It's kind of pissing me off. Splatoon JP. Everyone has Splatoon JP in their Twitter bio, but Splatoon JP doesn't know you, little bro. Let me stop. My bad, guys. I promise I'm getting there. I promise I'm getting there, guys. I'm getting there. We're there. We're almost. No. I'm seeing every tweet from Splatoon JP except for the fucking map list. Guys, can we get the perfect map list, please? by like TMZ. Maybe it's in my bookmarks. Why do I have that bookmarked? No, it's nothing weird. You weirdos. Okay, why do I have this man hugging on his best friend instead of his girlfriend? If you know, you know. I don't even watch Valorant, but if you know, you know. You just know. Not Koshin. I don't want fucking Koshin. I want the fucking map list. Okay, here it is. Splatoon of North America. Finally. It took a while. This is the most scuffed episode ever, yeah? Okay. So, this is important because I need to know the map list. So no, that's quarterfinals. Quarterfinals, Bluefin, when and where, semifinals. Oh, Flounder is in finals. Okay, interesting. Okay, okay, yeah, okay. I just needed to know where was Flounder, cause Jackpot is absolutely dropping that game. Um, eh, Unless Phantom Thief just doesn't know how to play rank modes. Um, okay, so it's Jackpot versus Phantom Thief for my prediction, and I have. They're absolutely dropping the Flounder game because Flounder does not look their best. From watching Jackpot, because they're the only world team that has actually been doing something as of lately. Um, Outside of the ones that had just finished their qualifiers, Japan, and then the Smart Roast Chickens who had just qualified, earlier, or Thursday, that qualified on Thursday. Um, I absolutely see them dropping Flounder. Mako Clans is not their strongest either, so I could see them. So game one is absolutely important for Jackpot. Game one is absolutely important for Jackpot because I do see them dropping game two. I don't know if they've gotten any better at Flounder Heights. Uh, Game three has been a little rocky for them, but it's not their weakest by far out of the seven. Manta Rainmaker, I'm pretty sure they're pretty confident in that. Hammerhead Bridge Zone, Splat Zones, I did see them lose this to the what's it called pickup. So I think maybe going into this game after this, I think we go into this set maybe 3-2-2 or 3-1 Jackpot. We either go into this game 5-2-2 or 3-1 Jackpot. We get past that. If it's 2-2, I think Jackpot loses Hammerhead. Crableg Tower, I think they win, and then they have to close it out on Turf War, which I do not like their odds. I do not like their odds when closing it out on Turf War. So they have to close this out before 6. They have to close this out in 6 or less. So if they win game 1, drop game 2, then have a hold on game 3 and 4, I think they go into game 5 with a little bit more confidence, and then game number 6 they'll kind of know from game number 1 what they can expect in terms of their TC comp and what they can look for in terms of like what they're expecting from Phantom Thief. So I got Jackpot. I still got Jackpot winning. I got Jackpot winning, but I got them winning 4-2. I think they drop Flounder Heights Splat Zones and Hammerhead Bridge. I think they drop both Splat Zones games, but everything else, I think they have. I'm pretty confident in them winning. If it goes to the game 7, yeah, Phantom Thief is walking out of there. You're world's champion. Because I don't like the one time we saw them. The one time I saw them play Turf War on Marlin Airport, it was they lost to Goss Atomic, Yoshell and Goss Atomic Yoshell and someone else. I forgot who the fourth was. And Zenith. Yeah, Goss Atomic Yoshell and Zenith. Not that those combination of players are bad. It's just Goss plays with FT Win, and Zenith is playing with everyone under the sun except for their actual team, and then Yoshell and Atomic just need to make a damn team together. So, in my humble opinion, but what do I know? I'm just a Div 5. But yeah, that's the end of my predictions, guys. That is it for the predictions. That took way longer than I expected. Because I was just rambling. Um, yeah, man. If you guys want to watch Worlds with me, it'd be so awesome. It'd be so cool. Um, maybe I'll just go to kill stream. But hey, if you want to watch, if any of you want to watch Worlds with me, I'll probably be streaming on Twitch.tv. Um, Parias underscore Sky 99. And if I don't stream, I'll probably just give my reaction and stuff on Monday when I'm also doing the episode for the invitational and like how do I think that went and all the other stuff. And yeah, we'll probably do that. I'll probably record that episode on Monday or maybe even Sunday morning. Um, because Worlds will be at 12 a.m. on Sunday, day 2 at least. So maybe I might record that even Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon, or maybe even Sunday evening, and then post it out on Monday for you guys. To the 5 people that watch this, I appreciate y'all. Not complaining whatsoever. I appreciate you guys. This is kind of my way to, I don't know, talk to people, I guess. So, yeah. Yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Uh, Worlds should be fun to watch for sure. So yeah, um, looking forward to it. All right, goodbye. Let me know your predictions down below. Let me know if you have Taiwan beating Japan for whatever reason, or if you have EU beating Japan in the Turf War stage and Japan being on the same side as North America. So we'll see. Do you think EU NA Grand Final, or do you think JP EU Grand Final, or NA JP Grand Final, or NA EU or JP versus somebody else? I don't think we'd see that, but well, whoever knows. Will Greasy Goblins beat the last place allegations? My bad, not Greasy Goblins. I did have to throw that straight at them. Will Australia beat the last place allegations? Who knows? We'll see. Alright. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.